Oh my goodness. Thinking back to how Stan Shady almost never came into conception, I can't help but recall one of the songs that I feel I would have been most disappointed about not doing was Dennis, because it's Mommy's revenge on her former principal. When Mommy had a principal at one of her schools, I would have liked to punch him in the family jewels. He was very mean. He was very cruel. The way he treated Mommy, perhaps we ought to duel. Dennis was his name, and he was such a pain. Something to the effect of a fucking ruptured spleen. For me to do this right, I really need to up my game and sink my fangs into this menace, hoping he'll adjust his ways. A fucking mustard stain, it felt so permanent. Talking down to Mommy caused a disturbance. You would think that Dennis had a fucking merchant ship and he was selling pirates bourbon and the girls were sucking dick. The worst part about everything was Mommy was so sweet. Mommy was so kind. You should have kissed her feet. Dennis doesn't know the meaning when it came to treats. They say we reap what we sow, and so I know he'll earn his key. Dennis needs to know that Mommy's baby's all grown up, so now we've got to dance, and this is far from polka. He can dance with me like Johnny Cage the day he shows up, and I'll punch him in the balls and make him clutch his legs and roll up. Dennis needs to know that Mommy's baby's all grown up, so now we've got to dance, and this is far from polka. He can dance with me like Johnny Cage the day he shows up, and I'll punch him in the balls and make him clutch his legs and roll up. Maybe thinking, why don't I just punch him in the face? I'm really not the violent type, but Dennis will get laced. I wouldn't punch his face because he don't deserve his balls. The way he spoke to Mommy all those times in offices and halls. I'm not a fan of Dennis or people of his type. You know, the type who tell you love me off or say goodnight. He must have had a lot of trouble with the women, right? They must have found him sour, like fucking lemon lime. Mommy would come home and tell us all about this jerk. She'd talk and talk and talk, I felt as though her mouth got hurt. Dennis would be better off wearing a blouse or skirts, because he's such a bitch. Just give Mickey Mouse your shirt. What a power trip, a little sour twit. If he was an owl, who would give an owl shit? The cast must have been all men when he watched an adult flick, and I should punch him in the balls and sink his fucking battleship. Needless to say, my mother, Diane Perry, was a really wonderful woman, and aside from myself and my dad, nobody really had the right to even argue with her, let alone make her feel like shit, the way Dennis did. Making light, making fun, or making my mom feel like shit is something I won't stand for, and that goes for any of you bozos who have the audacity to infringe.